I believe you should vote for these 3 reasons. First, allowing refugees into our nation's borders gives way to potential careers that will best benefit not only the refugees themselves, but the nation's economy as well. Second, the refugee crisis is causing hundreds of thousands of people physical and mental harms. And third, it's an international legal obligation to accept refugees into our country's borders. Contention 1. Allowing refugees into our nation's borders gives way to potential careers that will best benefit not only the refugees financially, but the nation's economy as well. Despite the difficult conditions in which children live, refugee girls, boys, women, and men are demonstrating incredible strength and resilience towards the many issues they face. Many girls and boys refuse to let go of their hopes and dreams. Their eyes light up when they announce that one day, when all of this is over, they will become doctors, lawyers, and teachers. The Office of the Administration for Children and Families reports that during the last 19 years, refugees have developed, expanded, or maintained approximately over 10,000 micro-businesses with a business survival rate of 88%. The ACF has also reported that the loan repayment rate is nearly 98%, which is far higher than the average repayment rate. Over 10,000 jobs have been created, and 24,000 refugees have gained new entrepreneurial skills. Contention 2. The refugee crisis is causing hundreds of thousands of people physical and mental harms. It's a moral obligation to help refugees out. Children have been wounded or killed by sniper fire, rockets, missiles, and falling debris. Refugees have experienced first-hand conflict, destruction, and violence. The psychological effects of these horrific experiences can be far-reaching, affecting their well-being, social skills, and etc. A study conducted by the president of the German Chamber of Psychotherapists, Dietrich Munz, found that more than 70% of refugees had witnessed violence, and more than half had been victims of violence, and often tortured. At least half of the refugees have psychological illnesses. The common are PTSD and depression, sometimes so severe that patients are suicidal. Munz estimated that while 3,000 to 4,000 psychotherapy sessions are offered in German camps each year, the demand is often 20 times higher. And lastly, my third contention. It's an international legal obligation to accept refugees into our country's borders. Ever since the 1951 National Refugee Convention, refugees have had certain rights promised under international law. These include the right to not be returned to their countries if their safety is not assurable, the right to not be penalized for entering a country illegally if they request asylum, and the rights to life, security, and religious expression, primary education, free court access, and equal treatment by taxing authorities. Refugees' rights under international law have been agreed to by Europe and the rest of the world for the last 65 years. However, Europe continues to make it difficult for refugees to get to Europe. Thank you. And these 3 reasons that I have listed, it's an international legal obligation to accept refugees into our countries. Allowing refugees into our countries, into our nation's border, gives way to potential careers that will best benefit the refugees financially and the nation's economy as well. And the refugee crisis is causing hundreds of thousands of people physical and mental harms. Thank you.
Ready? Come on, ready?
Yeah.
I believe you should vote con, and I will give you. I believe you should vote con, and I will give you reasons why. There are 2 things I would like to establish. Firstly, one of the most important jobs of the government is to promote the general welfare of itself first, before anything else. Secondly, the resolution comes down to 2 things: self-interest and altruism. Both self-interest and altruism are inherent motivations in humans that have been established for many years. An example of altruism across the world not only is among humans, but it's even among animals. For example, vermin monkeys sounding loud alarms to warn of threats though it draws the predator's attention to itself. And honeybees sacrificing themselves for the colony. And I would like to give my 3 contentions. My contention 1 is that altruism promotes dictatorship. Contention 2 is that we do not have the right to intervene. And my 3rd contention is that altruism has led to repeated disasters in the past. My first contention. Altruism promotes dictatorship. It is basically saying, you can do wrong and we will clean up your messes. If we interfere and help them, we are giving them a free pass. Everyone deserves consequences for their actions. And a government should have no right to intervene with another nation's messes. Take, for example, the U.S. Dictatorship is the complete opposite of democracy. The U.S. government would be helping those that oppose them, and it would not be a successful outcome. If they come out of the situation with us enabling them, then can we really say that they learned their lesson? And can we really say that they won't do something like this again? Slavery lasted 245 years in America while it was legal. That was one of the darkest times in American history. But we learned from it without the help or urgence of other countries. My contention 2 is that we do not have the right to intervene. According to Hans J. Morgenthau of the Foreign Affairs, for a century and a half afterwards, statesmen, lawyers, and political writers tried in vain to formulate objective criteria by which to distinguish between legitimate and illegitimate intervention. The principle of non-intervention was incorporated into the textbook of international law, and statesmen have never ceased to pay lip service to it. In December 1965, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a declaration on the inadmissibility of intervention in the domestic affairs of states and the protection of their independence and sovereignty. According to which, no state has the right to intervene directly or indirectly for any reason whatsoever in internal or external affairs of another state. And this same would correlate for a country. Of course, we are not saying that these people do not need help. But we are saying that the government cannot help them while still doing its job, which once again is to promote us first. It will most certainly cause harm to us, accepting these refugees. And that leads me to my 3rd contention. Altruism has led to repeated disasters in the past. According to Jeremy Lovelace of the Forced Migration Review, Lebanon has absorbed the enormous Syrian influence, but at high cost to both refugees and Lebanese populations. At the end of April 2013, according to the United Nations Human Rights Council data, there were 445,000 Syrian refugees in Lebanon, including both those who registered and were waiting to be registered. The government of Lebanon has in many aspects pursued an admirable policy. Borders have remained open, refugees have been allowed to settle there where they like to work. And the approach has been applauded by many international community. However, it comes at a cost. The refugees are concentrated in some of the poorest parts of the country. Education and health services that were inadequate before are now further stretched. All available housing is full or overfull, and refugees are settling in unsanitary shanty settlements. There is a perception that international assistance is going only to refugees. Tension between refugees and Lebanese communities are rising. Now, Judge, these 3 reasons are why I believe you should vote con. Once again, altruism promotes dictatorship. We do not have the right to intervene with another country's affairs, and it has led to many disasters